To you and thank you so much for your time this afternoon. CTV Ghana's #1. It's time for your most authoritative television afternoon program, Fact of the Week here on CTV Ghana's #1. My name is Kwame Archer Jr. You can call me KO. You're always a pleasure coming your way every Friday at 2 p.m. So this afternoon we're discussing a very critical issue that happened over the weekend, and of course, over the week, and what has been happening as well as far as in politics, in law. We'll talk about that. First one, we'll talk about the latest poll by Global Info Analytics. You know that he's been doing monthly polls, and that of August has been released just yesterday. We'll give you a breakdown because the 2024 flag bearer of the NPP, Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, is in a comfortable lead. Of course, he's been a comfortable lead for the previous months, and he's still leading. We'll look at the dynamics in the party, and we'll also cross-check if indeed this is really the reality on the ground as far as the various camps of the aspirants or the flag bearer aspirant is concerned. We know that they are gearing towards the big day that is on the 31st of January 2026, and of course a lot more will go into that. We'll also look at Shatta Wale versus Iyoko. Yesterday he was released from Iyoko, and after the back and forth with the bail conditions, he's been released. We'll also talk about that, and then we'll give you a breakdown of the corruption and corruption-related cases by the Office of the Special Prosecutor. There's a report by the OSP this week. We'll touch base on that. We'll also look at the angle of Sisi Dadapa, the money laundering case that has been given to Iyoko. Iyoko has taken over from the Office of the Special Prosecutor. So these are the three issues we'll be talking about this afternoon on the show. Your messages are welcome, but always, as usual, you know, the Fact of the Week is brought to you by Fenat. Wood is made for life. Great furniture is made by Fenat. And also, we say thank you to them. And also, Akwaaba Natural Mineral Water, quenching thirst and nourishing the nation with pure, clean, refreshing water. That's Akwaaba Natural Mineral Water. And so get these two products and you are sorted out. So I'll take a break. When I come back, I introduce my guests on the show, and then we'll get the show running. Welcome back from that quick commercial break. And so we continue with the show. You can share your thoughts with us on our WhatsApp number that will be on the screen shortly. But let me introduce my guest. He's a colleague. He's not a visitor. He's not a new person. He's a visitor. He's a known person on the show. And of course, with us here at Class 91.3, CTV Ghana's #1, Accra 100.5 Class Media Group together. Dr. Desmond Kofi Annan. Doc, always a pleasure having you on the show.
Great to be here.
Good. I believe you're doing very well.
Doing very well.
Okay.
Thank you.
So we'll start with the Office of the Special Prosecutor. What the OSP reports talked about this week. So many cases that the OSP says that it is investigating. Of course, we'll touch base with some of the cases he's been working on. But of course, we also need to give you what the mandate of the Special Prosecutor is, because the concern is that, okay, on what basis is the OSP dealing with all these matters? So we'll give you the mandate of the Special Prosecutor. And of course, I'm sure that it will be on your screen. So the OSP derives its powers mainly from the Office of the Special Prosecutor Act 2017, Act 959, the OSP Office of the Special Prosecutor Regulations 2018, LI 2373, Office of the Special Prosecutor Operations Regulations 2019 there, and also OSP has the object of investigating and prosecuting specific cases of alleged and suspected corruption and corruption-related offences in the public and private sectors, recovering the proceeds of such acts by disgorging illicit and unexplained wealth and taking steps to prevent corruption. So that's the mandate of the Office of the Special Prosecutor. So let me come to you on the mandate of the Special Prosecutor. Is the OSP really in line with the acts in which it is working with?
Exactly. I mean, we've all been made to understand that the OSP, I mean, largely is looking at corruption and corruption-related allegations, cases. And so for all the cases that we were made to understand, and the office itself put out 152 cases that it's working on. And so clearly when you look at those cases, you would appreciate the fact that they are all in line or has some issues about corruption or corruption-related issues as we understand its mandates to be. And so it's not out of place that all of these cases largely, and you realize that for some that has to do with money laundering and all that, you would recall that they have, in fact, written to the EOCO.
So EOCO has taken over them.
Taken over. But is it that the special prosecutor's office right to the EOCO to take over the matter when it gets to those areas of money laundering and other matters that are not really concerned with their mandate by law. And so largely we can say that so far the cases that have been listed, the 152 cases that they put out in the course of this week, I think Tuesday or Wednesday, largely have to do with corruption and corruption-related.
So we can give an example as the Sisi Ladapa case.
Exactly.
So there you have on your screen the Sisi Ladapa case where the EOCO has taken over that particular matter because it has to do with money laundering.
Exactly.
And the OSP fed its right to give it to EOCO to investigate that.
Yes, so today I think for 150 cases, I don't think we have the luxury of time to be able to go through these ones, but we'll touch on some few.
We'll touch on some. We'll just about 4 or 5 cases that we'll touch on. So we'll look at the Republic versus
the Circuit
Court 2.
Yes.
That has to do with the ex-party Ken Ofori-Atta.
Yes.
The former finance minister of the Republic.
Exactly.
An interested party. That's the office of the special prosecutor as well. So you want to run us through that?
Exactly. So let's let your viewers understand that this particular case, as we all know, there was some what we call, I don't know whether it's shenanigans or whatever the politicians would want to say. There was some arrest that was supposed to be made on the former finance minister, and he was actually not in the country. And so when these guys went to his house and it became a long-standing issue, he then ordered his lawyers to go to court and, as it were, seek for some supervisory jurisdiction. So he went to the High Court for the High Court to determine that, seeking for the quash of an arrest warrant issued against him by the Circuit Court. So that was the reason why he went to the High Court. And at that point, he was seeking for that supervisory role the High Court placed on the Circuit Court to be able to quash that particular arrest warrant on him at the instance of the OSP. And as we know, the matter was dismissed. And so the matter is still actually pending. But the man is still not in the jurisdiction.
Sure.
So it is one of the issues that the OSP office is still waiting on. Immediately he touches down, it means that they have to pick him.
So it brings a conversation about, so as and when the former finance minister touches down is when the OSP can act.
Exactly. Don't forget that, of course, he's not in the country. So, and that was what he was trying to fight. That he doesn't think that the OSP's arrest warrant issued by the Circuit Court should be binding on him. And so he went to the High Court to actually seek for a quash of that arrest warrant. And so now that the High Court dismissed that matter, you understand? Now that the High Court has dismissed that matter, it clearly means that it is still standing. The arrest warrant is still relevant. And so anytime he touches or he's seen anywhere in this part of this country, he has to be arrested. So at this point, we all know that he's not around. So anytime that he touches ground, he has to be picked.
So even if it takes him the next 2 years to come into the country, nothing really can be done.
No, at this point, he's out of the jurisdiction. And so the only thing that the OSP can do is to also rely on external collaborators, i.e. the Interpol and all that. And don't forget, he's on the Interpol red alert. And it's also a case that is also pending in court. I'm sure we'll get into it. That is the Ken Ofori-Atta versus the OSP and another. You remember that particular case?
Sure.
So it's Nana Yaw Ofori-Atta versus OSP of the Office of the Special Prosecutor and another. So this is where this particular case deals directly with the arrest, the red alert thing.
Okay.
So when the OSP, the Office of the Special Prosecutor, decided to collaborate with its external collaborators to, as it were, put him on red alert because he's more or less doing some maneuverings with them they are not happy about. They had to now put him on the red alert. That is what he's also fighting in court. It's also a case pending. It's also a case pending, and so he's standing. In fact, he says they have to remove his photograph. The case he took to the court was that he wants his photograph removed from the OSP's website, declaring him wanted, and all that. And then this particular case, once again, he says it was against his personal liberty and right of health, right to health, especially when he's also making the point that he actually wrote to the OSP to tell him that
he's not well. He's not well. He has surgeries to attend,
and he doesn't understand why the Office of the Special Prosecutor is still interested in putting his picture, his photograph, as a wanted person when he has given you full notice that he's not feeling too well and seeking for medical attention. And so two things he did here. He went to the court to seek for that the court would have to, he moved a motion actually to as it were, plead the court to enforce or force the Special Prosecutor Office to remove his picture.
Okay.
That is one. And then two, also seek for interlocutory injunction, as it were. Now the court sat in that interlocutory injunction fought against the OSP from arresting him, and all that has also been quashed.
Okay.
It's also been dismissed. And so what it means is that the substantive case continues, would have to continue.
Okay.
And because he's not around, the matter has been adjourned to October something, I think October 23rd.
So now all what we need to wait for is the return of
the former finance minister.
Interesting.
In that regard. And then another case which is also of much interest to the Ghanaian people is that of the Republic versus Mustafa Hamid and nine others. You remember this particular case of they said some monies were put in some bags and got exchanged and all that. So, as it were, what it means is that this matter has also been adjourned. And so it's important that our viewers understand that this particular matter, as we have said, it has to do with the former, what do you call the CEO.
So we have the case on your screen.
Okay. So the former CEO for NPA. And some, in fact, there are 9 of the former chief executive and 9 petroleum authority members. There are 9 people, including 3 corporate entities. And as we understand the case to have been, they said the companies were, as it were, involved in some more like money and some dealings that were not appropriate. And they were using their offices for extortion. You know, the public officer, I mean, some of the cases, let me be specific in some of the cases. In fact, they were charged with 25 counts. 25 counts of conspiracy to commit extortion by a public officer. And then 2, extortion by a public officer.
Okay.
3, using public office for profit. Conspiracy to commit money laundering and money laundering. And the case has been adjourned till 26 August 2025. And so that's like somewhere next week we have to see certain things happening in court with particular regards to this particular issue. And we all know that Mustafa Hamid, Dr. PhD, has also come out strongly to defend himself and say that he doesn't know anything about what they are saying. He has not used his office for any profitable gains as a public officer. And so that is what it is in that regard. And so we'll see what the matters would really end up after 26th of August next week.
I see. So we'll look at this one. We've touched on that, the Nana Ofori-Atta versus Office of the Special Prosecutor.
We've done that one.
Another. So we move on to another so we have the Republic versus Alexander Kwabena Safo Kantanka. So what case is that? If you could run us through with our viewers.
Alexander. Okay, so this particular case. So let our viewers understand that if the Republic versus Alexander Kwabena Safo Kantanka is also quite an interesting case. You know, you remember this matter of some MC elections where the man was caught on video ranting and all over the place that Yepchinedi.
That he sorted
the delegates have taken his money and still voted against him, and he didn't understand why. In fact, he parted monies with them, and
they return their money.
They gave him the assurance they were going to vote for him,
and unfortunately, they didn't do that.
He was all over the place that they should refund the money, bribe money. How do you refund bribe money? So you know this matter, KOJ, is gone the whole since 2022 or so, if I'm not mistaken. So the office of the special prosecutor then initiated criminal proceedings at the High Court in Kumasi. So the matter went through, and long and short of this whole thing is that it went to a level where the day of judgment, then a new judge popped up.
Okay.
And so when the new judge came, the new judge was saying that the old judge, the woman that sat on the matter, let me get her name. I think it's not her though. Okay, so the new judge was Justice Abdul Razak Musa. Okay, the new judge was Justice Abdul Razak Musa, and then the judge who was sitting on the matter before him was Justice Priscilla Dikro Ofori.
Okay,
has been transferred, and so his issue was that it's important that he has proper briefing. He needs to get to acquaint himself with the issues well, so he can give a better ruling, and so a judgment and all that. And so they had to adjourn the case to somewhere 20th January 2025, and the matter is still pending, and it's been murky here and there, all over the place. And so we don't know where this matter really is going to end. And the office of the...
So there was a judge sitting on that case. On the day of judgment, that judge was transferred. So a different judge takes over.
Yes.
And so now we are waiting for the new judge to get all his briefing, all the set briefing that he wants to get, and then finally he can pronounce judgment. That's what it means.
Yes, but you see, the court acquitted and discharged. I think when Justice Priscilla Dikro Ofori eventually came back, delivered her judgment. Okay, she delivered her judgment. Let's get this one right.
Okay.
She delivered her judgment, and then the court, as it were, acquitted and discharged Mr. Safo Kantanka on the reasoning that the evidence did not establish the various sums of money. You understand? That Mr. Safo Kantanka gave to the delegate designated to vote for his nominations. And so the office of the special prosecutor then went to the Court of Appeal on the grounds that the judgment cannot be supported. Having regard to the evidence, and that the judge erred in both law and fact. So it is also a matter that is pending. So let's now get it that the matter was settled, acquitted and discharged. But your man, I mean the office of the OSP is in court again, in the Court of Appeal, that they do not understand, because the fact on which, or the law on which the former judge decide to acquit and discharge Mr. Kwabena Safo Kantanka, for them they disagree. I mean, in their own words, they said the judge erred, and so the matter would have to be looked.
Because they feel that there were clear evidence of the man ranting that I gave money for you to vote for me. Unfortunately, it was the opposite. So these are some of the things that. But can the OSP win based on the fact that there were clear evidence even before the judgment was made?
Of course. In fact, now that the matter is in the Court of Appeal, if the Court of Appeal is to more or less have a different opinion over what the High Court has said in Kumasi, definitely Definitely, there will be interesting times ahead.
This is a very interesting story that I'm sure large number of Ghanaians want to know the outcome of that ruling. And of course, on social media, when he was discharged and acquitted, people, I mean, obviously disagreed.
Yes.
Because they felt that this is pure bribery for the local government.
Yes.
And so if the OSP wants to look into this matter again, that serves it. But we also look at the OSP, FBI clearing Cecilia Dapaah of corruption. Then EOCO takes over the new money laundering probe as well. So on that particular case, we look at why the EOCO decided to take over, or the OSP decided to hand over the money laundering part to EOCO.
Yeah, but so we started the conversation by saying that the OSP has a clear mandate. Its mandate really is about corruption and corruption-related issues.
Okay.
And so anything not within the scope of this mandate, of course, would have to go to the appropriate quarter. And so, as far as we know that the OSP was investigating Madam Cecilia Dapaah on corruption-related issues. And so, when it came out that there were no traces of, we're not getting traces of corruption and corruption-related issues with what was happening at the time. Obviously, it will have to move from them. And so I am not surprised that having found traces of money laundering, it's alleged. Let's be clear. So these are alleged cases of money laundering being attached to the Cecilia Dapaah case. Of course, definitely, it would have to leave their quota and get to the particular agency that is clothed with the powers to deal with this particular kinds of issues. So I'm not surprised that it's ended up at the EOCO office.
Let me go on the phone line and speak to Theophilus Jemaga. He's a private legal practitioner. Counsel, good afternoon to you. I'm grateful for your company this afternoon.
Good afternoon. How are you? And good afternoon to your listeners.
Very fine, thank you. Thank you for asking. So let me start off by seeking your reaction or your thoughts, your assessment so far on the Office of the Special Prosecutor, the dealings, the findings, and the reports that came out during the week.
Good afternoon again. Let's be fair to the Special Prosecutor. The act that set up the office mandates him to give us periodic briefing. So when he gives periodic briefing, we should not see it as he's giving too many lectures or too many releases and we want action. Secondly, if you look at the reports, a great deal of it focused on Ken Ofori-Atta. And I am wondering what other actions are needed apart from what he has indicated. Thirdly, I ask myself, are we getting value for money? Then fourth, do we need extra laws to make his fight very good? But all in all, my personal assessment had been, apart from the plea bargains that he has chalked, as a lawyer, of course, I've been a criminal defense lawyer in a number of cases. I think he should go more than what we are seeing, because I believe a lot of money goes into what he's doing. Then he listed a lot of cases that are under investigation.
Okay.
Asking myself is he giving enough? Is he not giving enough out there for somebody to try and cover their back or their track? That is one of a worry to me. So beyond that, I think that he's mandated to give us reports, which he has given. Don't take me wrong. He has been my lecturer. He lectured me in criminal, a very fine lecturer.
Okay.
But when it comes to what we are seeing as a delivery, I think the jury is still out there.
I see. Well, many have criticized the OSP for not living up to expectation. Of course, you talk about the fact that he needs to do more. What is that, in quotes, more that he should do? What exactly should he do? Because many have said that, OSP has become something like a white elephant. It doesn't really bite well.
You see, the other thing I have taken on myself to do now is to make a table. Remember, my background is in engineering and project management. So I've decided that I'll take a table, I'll create a table, list all the cases he is doing. Then I'll classify them as initial investigation, ongoing, and completed. Then at his next release, I'll see which ones will move from initial investigation to maybe ongoing or to completed and the outcome. But until we are able to do things like that, or himself is able to do it very succinct and very crisp and tells us that, hey, the Republic versus ABC, the last time I was here, I told you it's an initial investigation. Today we are in court and we have secured conviction, or we are in court, trial is ongoing. Then you'll be able to track progress. Beyond that, a lot of the verbal communication he gives us, a lot of words, they don't really resonate with everybody. And mind you, go onto the streets now. The number one canker we all talk about, apart from poverty, is corruption. So people, corruption to a large extent also comes with perception. And when the corruption perception index comes, we are up there. So people are saying that they keep seeing it, that if we are up there, we also perceive that there is corruption. What is he doing to stop it? Mind you, part of his mandate is to prevent corruption. So that is why you see that he said he worked with the ministries to block ghost names from payroll. So that is to prevent corruption. But many are asking questions. Who are the people you have arrested, jailed, or prosecuted, got convicted, and they were jailed for corruption? That is what people want to see. And remember, in certain countries, corruption is such a high price to pay that there is such a very high, there's a high level of deterrence to it, that before you undertake it, you think twice. Recently in Singapore, a minister was jailed. So the question is being asked is, what is happening? Who, since he came in, apart from those who went for plea bargain, let me say, in Tamale, we seem not to be seeing anything. So the perception out there, whether real or imaginary, is that no work is being done. That is true. Okay? And when the NDC came and he appeared to have elevated his work, I thought, oh, wow, maybe the MPP were not allowing him. Now there's a new government, so he wants to elevate his work. But what are we seeing? Well, it's just 8 months. But people feel that a lot of money was pumped into that setup, but we are not getting the returns.
I see. So I like the latter part of the conversation. So during the MPP, many think that his work was being interfered by the then President Akufo-Addo. Now there's a new government. He's really coming out with officials who were involved in corruption and corruption-related offenses in the previous government. What might be preventing him from prosecuting these people who served in the previous administration?
Remember, there was a time he had a press conference and he sang a song, I think one of Daddy Lumba's songs. He said, if something yes, he sang. And when you see the demeanor, the posture of everything, you say this looks like a frustrated and a defeated person. And MPP, that when you fight corruption, the corruption fights you back. And we saw the cases of Domelevo, etc., were kicked out, etc. But I think because he had a certainty of tenure of office, that was why he still was there. So yes, and remember what Martin Amidu said when he resigned, that there was interference. So I would believe that with what Martin Amidu said and what he also said as proverbially, there was interference. But now, remember, one of his first seniors that he worked under is the current Attorney General. He worked under Dr. Ayine.
Yeah.
So they have good relationships. So I don't think that Dr. Ayine is going to be interfering with his work. They might know each other's strengths and weaknesses and what they tolerate and what the principles and values they stand for. So that is why I believe one of the reasons he appeared to be flying, if I'll use that expression. So maybe his wings were clipped in the past, and the wings have now been released. So let's give him some time. Even though it's just 8 months, I think that there's pressure, or if he listens to the ground, people want to see action.
So you talk about 8 months in office. I mean, in this administration, even if he can't prosecute or give findings from people in this government, the other administration, because there are cases as far back as 2022, 2021, which can be dealt with. That findings were done. We're in a new administration. One would have thought that, I mean, these cases would have been fast-tracked to bring a finality to them all.
Yes. A lot goes into prosecution. You should be asking questions that the evidence you have, will it be able to secure conviction? Do you have a high rate, a chance of securing conviction? You also be asking yourself, is it in public interest to go by prosecution? Then he also indicated in his report, and you must remember the act also mandates him, the law mandates him to negotiate and on plea bargain and take some monies in case they have money to take them back for the state. So perhaps let's again give him the chance, even though I am one of the ones who say I'm not impressed, I'm yet to be impressed. I think we can still give him the chance to say maybe that some of the plea bargains are coming up, he might be able to secure some rewards for the country. But beyond that, I also feel that though there are cases that have been, let me use the word, cooked and ready to go, does he have enough prosecutors? Now, if he doesn't have, then should he be calling for extra prosecutors? And remember also that once you are expanding the prosecutorial base, the people you are going to bring in to prosecute, you might also be opening yourself out for people to compromise you. So it could be one of the reasons why they are not bringing in more people to prosecute. Then you add them to some of the things that I've mentioned, that is it in public interest, will you be able to secure conviction? Again, remember there are certain things that are morally bad, but they are legally good. So you have to sieve some of these things from what evidence you have to be able to go forward. So if they are not enough, then he won't be able to go forward. Those are the ones I want to hear, that we have done ABC, but looking at ABC or DEF, we will not be able to secure conviction. Hence, we have truncated it. That is all. That's what I would like to see. But the case log is so big that I believe that they should be looking for more prosecutors and investigators.
So you think that might be the issue bothering the OSP?
Yes, that could be one of the issues bothering the OSP. Yes, I believe so.
So we should give him some time. Maybe maybe by the end of the year.
The end of the year. Yes, that is why I say that when the end of the year comes and he releases his report, let's compare with this. I'll be here, you will be there. Let us discuss it then. Then we'll be able to say, look at this. On page 2, he said the investigation is completed. Then this time, on page 5, he's saying the investigation is completed. Where are we with the investigation? Then we can ask proper questions. So the copy you have now, download it properly, save it, make marks in December, end of year, when he releases. Let's compare.
Right. Council, thank you so much for your time this afternoon.
Pleasure. And my love to Dinah, your office secretary.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
Right. So that's lawyer Theophilus Jemega. So he says that we should give the OSP some time. Doc, you agree with that?
Yeah. I mean, Kwame, the issues are not just issues in Kitinkiti like that. You understand? And so it's important that we give him so, especially when there's also this new trend of plea bargaining.
Yeah.
I mean, I have said that when we are able to even, by way of the plea bargaining arrangement, able to recoup some considerable amount of money from that have been stolen. I mean, and if the evidence is that people have stolen that much and they are ready to refund such quantum of money back to the state, why not? But whichever way it takes, it has to be made known so that we are sure that these are the corrupt ones in the system. So that they are barred from any public engagement and any public office for good, so that they don't come and disturb the public purse the next time, the next time in life.
Anyway, so let's all agree that will give the Office of the Special Prosecutor, Okisei some time.
So actually, 152 cases is not a joke.
Yeah,
it's really not a joke.
But of course, many. I mean, at least we should see some 2-3 be, finalizing at least 2 or 3 cases. They will know that the OSP is up to task.
But of course, when you take the Republic versus Kwabena Safo Kantaka case like that, it's been done. Acquitted and discharged, but OSP said no, lie until sick.
Anyway, so let me take a break. When I come back, we'll deal with the Bawumia leading in the MPP race.
Okay.
Whether that is really the matter in their camp. And what's Dr. Razak Kojo-Poku also saying? He disagrees because he's with Dr. Abana-Champo's camp. He's done some analysis. He disagrees with the fact that Dr. Abana-Champo has just 1%, while Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia has 52%. So we'll come back. We'll deal with that matter on the show. Stay with us.
You've not announced your WhatsApp lines.
So when we come back, it will be on the screen anyway. When we come back, we'll deal with that matter.
Exactly.
Just about 40 minutes after 2, still live here on CTV Ghana's #1. This is Facts of the Week, your weekly news analysis program. So we're dealing with the Global Info Analysis data that came yesterday. So he's been doing monthly reports, and the month of August has also been released. So in the data, we have about 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 aspiring presidential candidates of the opposition New Patriotic Party. Let me start from the bottom. So Adainimo has 0%. Boakye Jarko also has 0%. That's the former energy minister, 0%. My very good friend and uncle, Engineer Kwabena Agyapong, the former general secretary of the party, also has 0%. And then Dr. Yawase Edichum, the former education minister, has 1%. And then Dr. Abana-Champo, Member of Parliament for Abetifi, also has 3%. And then former Member of Parliament for Assin Central, Kennedy Agyapong, has 17% out of the total population. And also Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, as figures skyrocketing to 52%. Now, it says that undecided, so delegates who are undecided, they've not decided who to vote for, they are just 18%. And then those who will not disclose who they would or might vote for, that is also 9%. So that's the data given by Global Info Analytics. Let me come to you, Doc. I'll come to Doc shortly, but let me also go online and speak to another doc, Dr. Razak Kojo-Poku, PhD. In fact, he's been doing analysis. He's been doing analysis for a very long time. Has details about figures and statistics. He joins me on the phone. Doc, I'm grateful for your company this afternoon. So you disagree with the data from the Global Info Analytics because per your statistics and the data figures put together, you think that this is way false as far as figures and data is concerned on the ground?
Thank you for the opportunity. My regards to your cherry listeners. What I was trying to point it out is that when you look at the analysis that the Global Info Analytics share with us, I watched the discussion on one of your sister stations, Channel 1 TV, and subsequently the publication that was done. when you add all the percentages, normally it has to end up to 100%. But the percentages that you just mentioned, when you put them together, it will give you 92.7%. So I was asking, where is the remaining 7.3%? And even if you, let's say hypothetically, we decide to give Kwabena Agyapong 1%, Boakye Agyapong 1%, Adenimo 1%, of course, which Global Info Analytics ascribes 0 score to them. Even when you give these three individuals 1 each, just like he gave 1% to Adichum. So it will not add up to 100%. You will be getting around 95.7%. So where will be the 4.3%? So I put this across, and later, if you watch the publication Manager Online date, City Newsroom date, clearly he had indicated that the undecided were 10% or 10.7%, and those who are not willing to disclose where they stand is 9%. But they quickly brought another chart table indicating that the undecided has now moved from 10.7 to 18%. So we're like this kind of inconsistency. So it's something that perhaps sometimes when you are doing data entry, there could be some mistakes here and there. So I'm not questioning the raw data, but I'm questioning the analysis that he has done. You can have a look at it and see maybe during the data entry and the analysis and some of these mistakes arise. We can easily correct it and just let us know what exactly what happened. But not giving us inconsistency figures. It doesn't help. When you do that, it cuts a slack of in terms of the credibility and integrity of the analysis that you are presented to the general public.
So among them, three contenders that Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia, Kennedy Agyapong, and then Dr. Brian Acheampong. It looks like Dr. Brian Acheampong, for lack of a better word, the new kid on the block, is battling with 3%, where Kennedy Agyapong has 17. Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia seems to be, stands very, very tall among all of them, 52%.
Now, within the tall that you are talking about, we have a situation whereby in the last primaries, 2023 primaries of the NPP, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, His Excellency, had 61.47%.
Okay.
But the national election, what was the score? Even if we use what was declared 275 out of 276 constituency, Electoral Commission made us aware that Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia had 31.75%. When you do the subtraction, the figure you had during the internal primaries and the figure you had in the national election, you are looking at a loss of about 19.72%. So if you are giving him 52% now, that means 2028, if there's anything to go by, is going to lose the election by 32.28%. So even the Bawumia camp should be rejoiced over this data. It's not in their interest. It's not in their favor. Because you have 61.47 during internal primaries. A poster is telling you that now you are at 52. So look at 61.47 to 52. Internally, that means people are losing trust and confidence in you.
Okay.
When you project it against the national election, clearly it means that you are going to lose the election by 32.28%. Is that what MPP want?
So in your view...
For me, I think that we are looking at over 100,000 to 200,000 delegates.
Okay.
A sample size of 2,650 cannot be the benchmark for us to say that this is how the direction of the party is going to be. The sample size is highly negligible.
But you are a grounds person. If you look at this data, and even if you juxtapose that with the larger population of those who are expecting to vote on the 31st of January 2026, do you see Dr. Brian Acheampong, Kennedy Agyapong going head-to-head with Dr. Alhaji Mahmoud Bawumia based on the party's failure in the last general elections?
politics, when it comes to voting decision, it's a second change of mind. Okay, it's a second change of mind. Let's even take our personal life as an example. When you were coming from home in the morning, the thinking, the plans that you have, right now, it must change. So the reasons why people decided that they want a candidate A or candidate B in the next 4 months, that reason might have been altered, or the person might have a different reason or justification to vote otherwise. So if you're a politician, seriously speaking, opinion polls will just be a guide. It shouldn't be something that you have to put your whole trust and confidence in it, because voting decision is a second change of mind. Someone can decide that I'm going to vote for Kwame. The moment the ballot paper is issued to him or her, okay, and he go into his closet to cast a ballot, he can decide to vote for Cephas. So, if we rely too much on opinion polls to gauge the mood of the delegates, to gauge the mood of the country, you might have a very, 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 very surprising and very, very shock of your life. Let's say, for instance, ahead of the 2024 elections, what was the prediction for Professor Masapon? That election will go to runoff. But look at the gap. So you don't put your too much trust and confidence in opinion polls. As a politician, it doesn't help you. It doesn't help you to plan properly. And it doesn't help you to know the prevailing reality on the ground. And you have a shock of your life on that D-Day.
But do you see any of them overtaking Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia per the dynamics in election?
Anything is possible, as Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia said.
So it's possible that Dr. Bryan Acheampong can overtake Dr. Bawumia?
Of course, definitely.
Is that what you think is going to happen?
That's what is going to happen.
So Dr. Bryan Acheampong will beat Dr. Bawumia in the main election?
That's what I believe so. Now, but on the 31st, I don't know the mindset of the delegates, but per the prevailing reality on the ground, per the submarine engagement and the various discussions going on the ground, I'm very certain that Dr. Bryan Acheampong is in a better position to win the flag bearership on the 31st January.
What is in the submarine project?
I can't share with you, please.
Doc, thank you.
Welcome.
So that's Dr.
Interesting. I love that.
Dr. Razak Kojo-Poku. So if you want to know what's in a submarine project, I guess that maybe you have to join a submarine so that you get to know the team, so that you get to know what exactly is in there. But can the data, because all the data that have come, Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia seems to be leading. I mean, he's been a comfortable lead for a very long time. Can that influence the voter decision in January 2026?
Kwame, I've always said that politicians have an interesting way of thinking and analyzing stuff.
Yeah.
Trust me, if this research had gone in a certain direction, say in the direction of Dr. Bryan Acheampong, the language of Dr. Razak wouldn't have been the same. And so it's interesting that politicians have an interesting way of analyzing some of these things. But nevertheless, Global Info Analytics has a track record, which we must all, whether you like them or not, or you like the analysis or not, whether it is skewed or not, they have proven that when it comes to some of these things, I don't know what really can be used against them by way of saying that maybe they've done a shoddy work or whatever thing that you probably would want to put it. And so I am just waiting to analyze the final work that will eventually come prior to that election in January 2026. But let's not forget that I keep on saying that research of this nature or polls of this nature, in fact, it is a wake-up call for you to, whichever way, whether it is said you are winning or you are losing, it's a wake-up call for you to do something right, not to necessarily more or less begin to attack or probably draw, excuse my French, draw maybe some nonsense out of their way and those kind of things. No. It is for me a wake-up call for all the parties in there to be able to, if you are winning, it means that you are doing something right. Continue doing it. If you are losing, it means that there's something you need to do to up your game. I've always said that some of these researches and polls is just like you can liken it to a bikini. A bikini of a woman. You see, when a woman wears a bikini, you understand? It shows a lot of things, but not everything. You get the point I'm making. So the polls here draws your attention to a lot of things that you'll be privy to, but not all. What it means is that the not all is what you need to work hard at, ensuring that it's either you make it a point to sustain the results that you are having. If you're winning, sustain it. If you are losing, work hard towards it. Work hard, extremely hard, to ensure that you overtake whatever outcomes, or you get to the outcome you really want to. Other than that, if you decide to downplay it and not, but don't forget, we have 18% undecided. We have 9% not disclosed. For me, if you're saying non-disclosed, it means that the people have taken a decision, but they will just not tell you.
Sure.
The undecided, yes. It means that he's not decided, he's waiting for something to happen.
Okay.
Plus or minus. Whatever they are waiting to happen before they take a decision on you, I don't know.
Okay.
You understand? And so it's very, very interesting. So that's about 27. If you add the undecided and the non-disclosed together, and you even decide to stick with the undecided, 18% for grabs, it can do a lot of dynamics in the game. So for the Bawumia camp, yes, they should not overly rejoice over this. It means that there's something you are doing. Continue pressing the paddle, and make sure that you don't slip. For the Canada-Japan camp, 17%, all hope cannot be lost. Who knows, the 9%, the non-disclosed people, maybe they are your people, but for whatever reason, they have decided not to mention to anybody. They are keeping it close to their chest. For the undecided, maybe you can decide to, if you do your things well, for whatever they are waiting for before they take a decision, get to them, continue selling your message, and whatever things you need to sell to them, and let's see what happens to you eventually.
I see. Our time is almost up, but just 2 minutes before you come in with some other messages. Just 2 minutes on Shatta Wale Eyoku. Shatta has been released finally after after street jam yesterday at
You call that street jam? Hey. Well, I mean, the Shatta issue, I have said it on radio, Accra and class this morning, that I feel Shatta did what is right. I mean, the message or the live he went after his release to thank some personalities in Eyoku and the Eyoku office in general, I think it's in order. Let's understand that this is not the typical Shatta Wale we've always known. And so it should tell you that something might be going on and his attention has been drawn to it. Maybe initially he wasn't getting an appreciation of the issues. So this time around, I'm sure, and I'm glad that his lawyers were there to guide him during the interrogation and all that. I'm sure that his attention has been drawn to some things that if he doesn't manage well, may be used against him, which may not end well for him. And so it's important that he puts a thinking cap on, take humble pie and pray that certain things do not go out of the roof to ensure that because like I said, the matter doesn't look good. Anybody that says that this matter can be just business as usual will be joking. When you speak to lawyers, and like I said, I did speak to some lawyers, senior lawyers in the space, who have mentioned some one or two things to me, that it's important that Shatta keeps a very cool demeanor and and helps in the investigation coming, if he does not do that, and he decides to go in a certain manner, he may not be very happy with himself eventually. And so let's hope for the best, and we all pray that this matter does not get out of the roof. I mean, we don't buy Lamborghini on the street. No. We don't buy Lamborghini.
Yeah, of course.
And
that makes sense.
You will not pay $150,000 to a seller and tell me that you didn't take receipt. $150,000 is not 150,000 Ghana cedis.
Anyway, so we'll wrap up on the show this afternoon. Thank you so much. But
there's some few messages. Let me do these messages so that we go. Okay, this one is saying, good afternoon, KOJ. You are looking good. Hey,
thank you.
Talking about matter, you are talking about KOJ's goodness. Hey, Charlie.
Life is important.
All right, good evening. The OSP is making me sick. Please tell him if he cannot do the job, he should leave. Okay. This one is also coming from Frimpong. There's this one coming from Kwabna. He says, good afternoon. This show, is it always on Friday? Why don't you make it 2 times in a week? All right. We'll talk to management. Our producer is sitting right in front of us here. Maybe he will consider that. Let me do some 2 more. This is coming from Mustafa. He says, good afternoon. I love the show. Keep it up, guys. And then this one is coming from Alex from Ablekuma. He says, good afternoon. Please let the OSP understand that we are all looking up to him. He should make his plans, he should make his intentions and plans known so that the reset does not reset him. All right.
Okay.
All right, so that's a few that I have here.
All right, so thank you so much. So this is how we wrap up on Fact of the Week this week. It's been a pleasure coming your way. Another edition. Hopefully next week, Friday, we'll meet exactly 2 p.m. here on CTV Ghana's number 1. I was joined by Dr. Desmond Kofi Annan, who is with us here at Class Media Group. My name is Kwame Ocho Jr. We'll see you same time next week. Good afternoon.
Yeah.